Moi.
Moi.
I'm here with Cyanide. You just won LCS Summer. So what are your first thoughts when you think back on winning LCS Summer?
Yeah, it feels really great. I didn't actually think we would win, but yeah, it happened. We played really good and we won.
Why not? Why did you think you would win?
I think Lemondogs were a stronger team, but we managed to beat them when it mattered.
Do you feel as though, okay, so they were the strongest in the regular season, and then they got to play like just a best of 3 in the semi-final? Do you think like playing a best of 5 or playing on a huge stage, do you think any of these things affected them?
Yeah, perhaps. Like we had pretty solid strategy and we analyzed them. There might have been multiple factors why the games went as they did. So yeah, I think we just played better.
They were one of the teams during the season that seemed to like surprise other teams quite a lot, maybe like the champions they picked, or people couldn't figure out what strategy like worked consistently. You just beat them in the final in a best of 5, so what do you think like the overall approach to beating Lemondogs is?
We scrim them a lot, and there's a lot of things you need to consider when you are playing them, and mostly they play really solid and don't make that many mistakes, which was not the case in this final. So I don't think they really played on their 100% potential, but yeah. So we scrimmed them a lot, so we pretty much knew that what they are going to do against us, since yeah, we knew that if we face each other, we are probably both going to Worlds already, so it's not as important.
Actually, that's an interesting dynamic to how the final played out, was that I heard from all the teams that when the bracket was known, everyone just sort of practiced the people on the other side of the bracket, and so you guys would have been practicing against Gambit, against Lemondogs, against NIP. When you actually played in the practices earlier on in the week, were you beating Lemondogs?
No, they were beating us most of the time. Like, I think one day we beat them 4 times in a row, and then the 2 next days they just destroyed us every game.
Did you like pick anything up from that you think you used in the final?
Yeah, we analyzed the replays a bit, and overall we improved. And I was looking at stuff that their jungler does, for example, so I can counterplay.
Okay, anything you want to suggest? An example, maybe of something interesting you saw?
Just mostly about their habits, but I think. Well, I don't want to give anything that I got from it really to not help everyone. Like they can look at the replays if they want. So,
one of the things. Okay, so the top 3 for Europe is you guys, Lemondogs, Gambit. Like, how do you evaluate how strong Gambit will be? Because some people were thinking like they were weaker before the Super Week. Like, what do you make of them now?
I think Gambit as a team that can make it when it really matters. So, like, they are really dangerous, and we have a really good record against them. Like, we have beaten them 7 times in a row when we played them offline. So I think we can do rather good against them, but every other team should be kind of scared about them because they will do a lot of research, and if they find a strategy that works, they can really cheese you hard.
We don't actually know from the other regions for definite who will go yet, but we might have like a rough idea. Is there a team out there from another region who, now that you know you're going, you'd like to face these guys, or you think it'd make like a really good match?
I would like to face, of course, the worst enemies, but yeah, I will be looking forward to playing all the NA teams because there's always the EU-NA competition and see actually who is better because it's impossible to tell at the moment.
Okay. Well, in that case, if you mention NA teams, I have to ask, what do you think of Meteos, the jungler for Cloud9?
I think he's really good. I think they're all really good. I will have to play him before I can say if I'm better or he's better.
Okay. Your team during the actual season was really up and down, and then even in the Super Week, it looked like it was going really, really badly for you guys, and then you sort of got to the playoff, the tiebreaker thing, and then by doing awesome in the tiebreaker, it looks like, oh great, you came second, but you were close to maybe coming like 4th or 5th or something. Yeah. How do you evaluate the total season? Like, how well did you play? Was there like a moment where it turned around?
We were playing quite bad at the start when we had enrated first, and when we took puszu, we had the usual, like when a team makes a replacement, they suddenly just play really good, they're really motivated or whatever, and then we started doing a bit worse again. But then this one night, I think it was on the Super Week, when we realized that, okay guys, we are not even going to qualify for Gamescom if we're not going to do something different, and we just had a team talk and we really rediscussed our picking and like our game plan, and I think it really helped us a lot. And after that discussion, we only lost 1 game to Lemondogs in the Gamescom finals.
So when you thought about like champion picks, for example, what was like some of the key ones that you did? Because for example, I noticed like seemed like xPeke was playing Ahri a lot more in mid. Was there like a key pick or a couple of picks that you thought like turned things around?
We have a couple of key picks. Mostly before we were picking kind of stupid stuff that combos didn't make sense. We just like, okay, pick this hero, it's good on lane. Like Vayne, for example, let's say. Vayne, and then whatever fiddlestick support, or then you just have no initiate whatsoever. And we realized that we can't do anything with our setup. Like even if we stop them on lane, we will lose later. So we were like, okay, we can play stuff like Ashe and Varus to have initiate and etc. etc.
One of the interesting things I noticed as well during the Super Week was every time xPeke played Kassadin, it seemed like he just like stomped the other team. Like, why do you think teams are willing to like let you play that champion in the games?
I think it was banned really often actually, and we got it. Pekka is an amazing Kassadin, and I think because he played it so much, everyone in our team knows what Kassadin can do and what he can do. So we play really well with Kassadin, and we know if he can. For example, when I gang mid lane, I will exactly know how much damage Pekka will do and what he can take and what he can't take. So it's not only about Pekka; we know how to play with Kassadin as well.
When the playoffs began and you had to play against EG, once they made it to the semi-final, like when you looked at their quarter-final match before it happened, were you certain EG would be the one to meet you in the semi-final? Like what did you think of Ultimate's chances to beat EG?
I thought it was maybe 60-40, like 60% EG will win and 40% alternate. So I think we were well prepared for both of them, and EG won, and we had a pretty bad record against EG, except we beat them when it mattered last on the third place or second place match. So we knew we could beat them, and then we beat them 2-0.
So you said like you were pretty well balanced, prepared for both. When I actually interviewed Mithy from Lemondogs, he actually told me like he just admitted like they basically only practiced for Gambit and just thought like we're certain Gambit will make it, so it's better to like put all our time into that practice. Was it really like 50-50 between the two teams when you were trying to think who would make it into your semi-final? You just like a little bit here, a little bit there?
Well, we didn't practice any certain strategies against them. It was mostly about like what counterplay we can do and what they are picking and what we can do to counter it a bit, but we didn't actually make any solid strategies to beat them. We just played the same.
So when you faced EG, what would you describe as like when you think back on it now, what was the key that made you guys win and EG rather than EG make the final?
I think we outpicked them both games and we outplayed them as well. Maybe they were a bit nervous or something. Like we were really we had TP and Pekka was just pushing turrets and they were chasing us with 5 people and we were just 4 people running away all the time, and we were getting free turrets and so much advantage from that.
Can you give me an example of like a pick you think that was either like a mistake from them or good for you?
I think a mistake from them was not picking teleport, and I can't actually remember all the picks, but I think we every game our setup was better, so they were just using weaker picks, I think.
This might sound like a stupid question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. So even though your team just won this season in Europe, but you'd said that you thought Lemondogs maybe were going to be stronger, of the 3 teams, is your team really the one that has the absolute best chance against international teams? What do you think?
That's actually a good question. It's really difficult to tell at the moment, because when another continent faces another one, it's going to be like 2 metas clashing, and maybe we can be a bit worse than the Koreans mechanical wise and stuff, but somehow our picks and strategies work against them because they're not used to them, for example. So it's really hard to say, only we will see at Worlds.
One of the key storylines for your team, especially you in your career, like in Season 2 you didn't go to the World Championships, you personally, but now in Season 3 you're going to go. So what is the significance of actually making it this time when last time you had to like sit at home? Yeah,
last time I remember I was really mad after we lost the third place game, because we got kind of screwed, because there was the strongest teams, CLG at the time, who is EG now, and N5, who are Gambit now, and they were definitely the strongest 2 teams in Europe, and we were like, maybe we can go third, and then CLGU lost to SK, and we had to face them in the third place game, and we just lost to them, and I was really, really mad about it, and I was sad we couldn't go to finals, and now I'm really excited to go.
Okay, I'm not good at pronouncing the name of your AD carry, like Puszu or something. What was his impact on the team? What changed when you brought him in?
I think Puszu's playstyle fits as well. I'm not gonna go to any depth, so some people can just look at this replay and this interview and see how to counter us or anything. But I think he fits as well.
So the reason I have to ask about him is because there've been all these rumors and vague comments in other interviews by Fnatic members suggesting that it's possible that Rekkles might come into the team during the World Championship. Can you give us like a realistic idea? How realistic is the chances of that actually happening?
I think it's pretty unrealistic at the moment because how it's looking right now, Rekkles couldn't play in the group stage at all, so we would have to play the group stage with puszu and then bring him in for the playoffs or something, and I don't think that makes so much sense, so most likely we will play with puszu unless if something changes.
Okay, do you have any final words or something you want to thank?
Yeah, thanks to all our sponsors and thanks to all the fans, especially the ones who were at Gamescom. You are all really amazing, and yeah.
Kiitos.
Yeah, ole hyvä.